Benvenuto! Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make crispy garlic chicken with rice noodles. Now, some of the ingredients we're going to use in this recipe are maybe something you're not going to always have on hand, or you might not have on hand right now as you're watching this. But it's delicious. It's worth the investment for buying some of the condiments that you need, because I'm sure you'll make this recipe more than once. So anyway, let's get on with a couple things that we're going to need for our recipe. First thing is we need some rice noodles, okay? These happen to be the thin ones. I usually like to get the slightly wider ones, but they didn't have them in my supermarket, and I didn't feel like going to the other supermarket. So anyway, but the important thing is you need to cook these according to the package direction, and here is our cooked one. And they're delicious. I've tossed them a little bit of butter. Normally I don't ever do that with noodles, but it's good with this recipe because we're going to have some butter anyway in it. Delicious. Okay, then we're going to need some chicken. All right, so for this recipe you're going to need about a pound of chicken. We need some green peppers. Okay, we need some scallions. We need some shallots, or small onion is fine. And we need some either Thai basil or regular basil. Now, if I remember correctly, this original recipe calls for a cup of basil. I don't think it needs a cup, so we're going to use about maybe a third of a cup. All right, I'll put it in the recipe, but I'll also put a notation in there that I use less of it. All right, so as far as the condiments that you might not always have on hand, might be pickling ginger. Okay, so this is the ginger. If you get sushi, you always get that on the side. Our dear friend Pat, who's now passed away for several years ago, she loved this. She would just eat it right out of the jar. But again, you're probably not going to use this every day, but this recipe you're going to make probably a couple times a month. All right, well, at least once a month. Then you need some sesame seed oil. We got rice vinegar. You could use white vinegar if you don't have it. Rice vinegar is a little bit milder. They They also have different flavors of it. This is just the regular. This is actually no added salt and no sugar. We need some soy sauce. Almost everybody has that around. One of the things you might not have around is sweet chili sauce. Okay, so Thai sweet chili sauce. We got some sesame seeds. And we got, if you want to make it a little bit spicier, we got some red pepper flakes or some chilies. I'm going to omit those because that'll be too spicy for us. The chili sauce is it's got a little bit of heat to it, but it's got sweet too. All right, and we're going to need some cornstarch. Did I mention the chicken? If not, I got about a pound of chicken here. Okay, so as far as our veggies, our scallion is easy. All right, you just peel it, or your small onion, and then just slice it. That's wicked easy. You don't have to do anything else fancy to this. Slice it up as thin as you can without cutting your fingers, because it will cook up faster. Then we got scallions here, or green onions. All right, we're going to use the tops and the whites and the greens. And again, we're just going to slice those. You don't have to be fancy with them. I already got the rest of them all cut up here. And then we need some green bell pepper. All right, again, just nothing fancy. I, of course, washed them, cored them. You guys know, if you've cooked with me before, one of my pet peeves is that white membrane. I always cut out as much of it as I can. It makes it taste better, I think. And then we just want to, again, slice them up relatively thin. They don't have to be paper thin, but the thinner they are, the faster they'll fry up. All right, so we basically got all our vegetables done. We got our scallions, we got our onion, we got scallions, we got green peppers, all right? And we got our basil. So our basil, I'm just gonna kind of julienne that up a little bit. So you can take a bunch of it like that and then just slice it. I took the little stems off. You know, that's a little piece of the stem there, but you want to break that stem off. Like I said, the original recipe called for, I love basil, but a cup of it was too much. So just...
Well, that smells strong.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, this is fresh, you know, fresh basil too, so it does. I love this. Do you like, I don't know if you like basil? No, well, the smell of it at least. Yeah. I love the smell of it. Okay, so we basically got everything right. So this is I wouldn't say this is, it's Thai inspired. I don't think it's, you know, got certainly all the elements of a Thai dish, but it is kind of somewhat of a stir fry as well. So, all right, so now I've cut up most of my chicken, but I just wanted to show you. So I got, it was probably closer to 2 pounds of chicken breast. I couldn't just get a pound, but anyway, so you can also use chicken thighs if you want, boneless chicken thighs. So you just want to slice it and then, you know, cut it into, not necessarily bite-sized pieces, but good-sized pieces. Again, the smaller you cut it, the quicker it will cook in the pan. So I don't need the rest of that. I'll use that for something tomorrow. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't. I don't know if I mentioned, but we're going to need some butter because this is butter chicken. So we're going to need, you know, probably 3-4 tablespoons of butter. We got 4 nice. Actually, there's what 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 there, but or 4 big ones. We'll throw those in our little chopper. You can do that by hand saw. Got those all ready for us when we need them. All right, so our chicken. So we got our roughly about a pound of chicken here, and we need oh, I was wasting my paper towels. I love paper towels. We need just about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So that's gonna be what makes our chicken crisp up as we fry it. And just toss it. Coat everything. All right. You guys get the idea. I'll toss that up a little bit better before we put it in, but you see, we want to get it all coated. All right, we'll put those aside. Okay, I'm going to clean the rest of this up, get out a frying pan, and we'll finish this up. This dish goes fast, goes together relatively quickly after you cut up your stuff. All right, see you in a minute. All right, guys, so you can see we've got everything ready, okay? Once we get everything in the pan and start cooking, it's going to go pretty quick, okay? We got our chicken. I got my frying pan on medium-high, and we need to put a couple tablespoons of butter in there. Okay, we'll let that melt. We tossed up our chicken nicely. Like I said when we talked originally about the ingredients, so this is our chicken breast, but you can also use boneless chicken thighs, which make it, you know, dark meat, make it a little bit more moist, the chicken. I've got all of my liquid soy sauce, everything that we went over. All of that's in this one bowl, so already measured out and everything. All right, so we'll throw our chicken in. Spread that out a bit. Now I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And we want to cook that and get it nice and crispy. Now we're not looking for crispy like you know, it's chicken nuggets kind of crispy. But you want a little nice brown on the edges. And it'll be, the cornstarch will make it a little bit crispier. Okay, so that's going to take a good 5 minutes. So instead of watching you, making you guys sit there and watch me for the next 5 minutes, we'll come back when the chicken's crisped up. All right, guys, our chicken is got some nice crispy bits, nice and browned. All right, so our next step is we're gonna add one more tablespoon of butter. Move that around a bit. And then our garlic. I'm still on medium high. That. A few seconds. And then we need one more tablespoon of soy sauce. The cap didn't just fall on the floor. So with that, we'll scrape up any of our little brown bits on the bottom. Toss it all up nice. Smells delicious.
It does.
I'll get the cap. So we just want to let that soy sauce absorb into the chicken and stuff. All right, and then we're going to transfer this to a plate. We're not done with that yet, but all right, and guess what? We need a little bit more butter. And we're gonna throw our green peppers and shallots in the pan. Along with our scallions or green onions. And we're going to let that saute for about 5 minutes. Keep an eye on it. You don't have to sit and stare at the whole time, but you don't want to walk too far away because it's such a burn. You might need a little bit more butter. But all right, see you when our veggies are done. All right, guys, our veggies are all nice and sauteed up. You know, there's still a little bit of crunch left to the green peppers. All right, so we're still on medium. I'm gonna take our all our sauces that I've put together. Also, there's the ginger in there. Let's give that a quick stir. I just want this to get a little bit warm because our noodles have been sitting for a few minutes, so it'll warm them up. Now it doesn't really matter what, how you put the ingredients in. This pan's a little bit smaller. Normally I'd put my chicken in and then the noodles, but I think it'll be easier to get our noodles coated first. That was our basil. Smelling delicious. Let's get our noodles in. Get them moving around so they break up. Now if I hadn't put a little bit of butter, or you can do a little bit of oil, those would have really been stuck together, but they will. See, they're coming apart. But I'm glad I put the noodles in first. Oh, it smells delicious and I'm starving. We had a beautiful day here in our neck of the woods, weather-wise. It was really, really hot here last week, as I think as most it was in most of the country. We weren't as hot as down south, but we hit 100 at least 2 days, right? Yeah, I know it was 100. The pool on one day last week was, I think the high was 86. It was like getting in the bathtub. All right, that's good. Let's get our chicken in. And again, we're just gonna toss that all together. So this isn't really a stir fry, but... And I don't know about you guys or what you're saying, but this looks delicious to me.
It does, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna toss this up really well. We'll plate it up and we're gonna have dinner. See you in a bit. All right, guys, here's our finished dish. This is our, what are we calling it? Chicken, garlic, crispy chicken, garlic, and rice noodles. All right, just wanted to show you. So we got some sesame seeds. Let's give a little sesame seeds. Give it a little sprinkle. Again, with sesame seeds, guys, you want to go sparingly. All right, because even with the sesame seed oil, it will quickly overpower it. You can always leave a little on the table with the shaker if anybody wants any more, but all right, I said we'd come back and eat, but I wanted to show you that, so now I promise the next time we come back, we'll be eating. See you in a bit. All right, guys, once again, best part of cooking is the eating. Yay!
It is.
And I'm starving. I just realized I'm having noodles. I haven't had noodles or pasta in a long time.
Oh, this should be a treat.
And the other thing I want to quickly point out is this is not a stir fry. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but one of the first things I ever cooked for Wade, we had gone away for the weekend and we rented a beautiful condo, and I went and got all nice fresh ingredients, chicken and all kinds of stuff for a stir fry. He made a stir fry and he sits down and he says, I don't like stir fry.
Yeah, it's not my
It,
favorite.
but anyway, that's still eventually I convinced him that I, would make him other good stuff. So,
Yeah.
all right, you ready?
This is it.
Yeah. Oh, it's delicious.
Very good.
That is yummy. That was the chicken. Chicken is tender, a little bit
Yep.
crispy on the edges. Now, you might notice I didn't use any salt and pepper in this. All the condiments, the soy sauce and all those other things, got lots of sodium in it anyway and other flavoring, so you don't need it. But, delicious.
That is so good.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed making dinner with us tonight. I hope you try this recipe. We'll talk to you later.
Everyone, please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.
Ciao.
Bye.